What up, everybody?
Pew, pew, pew.
Yes, welcome to episode 4, season 3. Gentlemen,
It's crazy how Dizzy didn't know it's episode 4.
he doesn't know anything. He's just editing, cutting, and pasting.
I'll share, man.
It's been a rough weekend, huh, Dizzy?
I'm sure we're not the only show he does on the side, though.
How was the weekend, gentlemen?
Tired.
Tired?
Yeah, Vij, what's
Working.
up? Talk to me. Talk to us.
It's obviously it's just working, but I just had like a incident. I had to take my son to the hospital when he was out of the womb, so I haven't slept. Katlego. So please excuse me, guys, if my energy is
When
a
did
bit.
when did it happen?
Saturday morning. No, Sunday morning, right? Sunday morning around 3 a.m. So asthma. You know, so
It's happened before.
yeah, it's happened before.
Sure.
The mom is asthmatic as well,
Yeah.
so I guess it comes from that side. So it's just knowing the little things, but it's like the doctor was there telling me what to do, etc. And even just like for just informing me about like COVID, antibiotics, like
Sure.
they don't really as impactful as that. You know, there's certain things where you should be taking up as, you know, supplements, so which is dope, which is good. But at least it's good. He's nice right now. So
Okay,
should be
then
discharged.
you know.
No, should be discharged today. Yeah, today is not
Yeah,
discharged.
that must be so sensitive, especially during a time when we're going through a pandemic like this, where you're going to be worried about extra things, not only just the asthma.
That's why I have the mask.
Yeah,
And
you
it's a
must have one.
respiratory thing.
Yeah.
And COVID now is respiratory. Yeah, I can understand why maybe you know the energy is a bit dipped, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, dog.
No.
And I'm sure people out there also have gone through a similar situation, yeah, but just pull through, man.
Yeah.
The doctor gave you any advice on what to do moving forward?
Obviously just purifying the air more. Not a humidifier, but like purifying the air kind of gets all the dust out.
Sure.
All those things.
Could it be attributable to the fact that you are doing a lot of building at home now?
It could be that. Definitely could be that. And also the change of season. You know what I mean?
Yes, change of season is a big
The
thing.
dust is right now is a
No wonder you
the
love
pollen.
cash time so much.
Hey, Scoop. All right,
At
but
least I see a smile on my man's face. That's what I want to do sometimes. Just put a smile on the face.
yeah, man. But talking about COVID and talking about obviously having to be careful, one thing that was also happening this past weekend was contravention of the COVID regulations. There were a number of venues that were actually closed down this past weekend because of contravention of those regulations. The likes of Black Door, and very unfortunate because we were out there shooting some weeks back.
Yeah.
EXO in Midrand.
Yeah.
There was also an event that was happening in town. Willie Cardiac had all of his boys in there, but obviously the cops wanted to come in and shut down the party.
Hold on. Just go to that Willie Cardiac trip and see what the kids did.
I know the kids come through with the fire and they tell you, hey, we're out here forever. But I guess it's also just a tricky time because people want to have a good time, but it's also, we still have to be careful. And I think the rest of the country is going through a bit of a COVID fatigue where it's like, okay, we need to be careful, but we also don't want to be caged.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why there's a lot of rebellion happening out in the streets right now.
But the government did set rules, right? So, you know what I mean? Like you are not caged in a way, you know? You are given a leeway time for, obviously, within the curfew period. You know, that's understandable. And social distancing is what they've been practicing, and also wearing my mask. I think more or less the last thing they want to become is where we go back to a situation where hospitals are just packed. You know what I mean? Like as we're saying, alcohol is open right now, so my accidents are probably there, you know? Which they did work in a way saying, go to, yo, zero driving tolerance, zero alcohol.
Yeah, zero
alcohol. You know, so one of those things like, cool, let's try decrease that, you know, just to give space for hospitals, just in case if the second wave comes through.
Being at the hospital, was it packed or was it? It was cool.
It was cool, eh? It was cool. Yeah, I think because obviously I started casualty, you know.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was packed, not packed.
Sure.
But all the the rooms were taken up, most of them, what I can see, you know. The good thing is Abantwana were not there. Like, that's a good thing. I didn't see a lot of kids there.
Okay.
But it's one of those things that, like, I think just abide by the rules and we can have fun.
I guess that's just it also. And it's tricky because, like I said, it somewhat feels like a little bit of an early festive because we were indoors for 6 months and it's like, okay, this is Pumile Manje, we're going to have ourselves a great time. But I think people just need to understand that rules are in place for a reason.
What are the rules concerning Indawezi, Fanane Club and Jaws?
Number one, clubs are not supposed to be open.
Okay.
So that already is a problem.
Sure.
The club industry is supposed to be closed, so that's why the likes of Sumo, Taboo haven't really been open.
Okay.
It's usually just all the restaurants that are the ones who have got access to actually open until a certain point in time.
12 o'clock.
Curfew is midnight, and obviously people need to socially distance within that venue. That's why there's a limit on how many people need to be inside. So the limit is supposed to be 250 in an indoor venue and 500 at an outdoor venue. Obviously, depending on what your venue size is as well, your capacity.
Understood.
So why clubs not open but other spaces can open?
This is the problem with the people that are probably running the clubs that are thinking, if you're going to have a gig for people and that person can eat, why me as a club owner can't? That's why they've taken things into their own hands. And I knew it was going to get to the space.
Definitely. I think the thinking behind it, obviously execution is a different conversation, but the thinking behind it is that when you're in a club, everybody's huddled together in one space. As opposed to a restaurant where people are supposed to be separated by tables, by way of obviously placing people in different areas that will allow for social distancing. So obviously with the clubs where everybody's together, that's not supposed to happen. But again, you know, people then get excited, they take advantage, it gets taken to the next level. It's a big story.
With liquor, so you can only buy liquor during the week. Weekends it's closed.
Yes.
I like that.
But I think at restaurants you can.
But you see, that's a tricky thing because I saw somebody posting a tweet the other day and they were like, how is it that you are closing the liquor stores when I'm going to purchase and socially distance in my house? You're selling clean.
That's true.
But then you want to allow the places, venues to then go and sell at higher prices, number one. Number two, those people still have to drive home. Majority of people are drinking and driving because the transport system obviously is a little bit taxing for you to, you know, to Uber, to do all those things. It's still expensive as much as those things are available.
Sure.
Some people choose to drink and drive because they're like, let me just try my luck, or maybe they find themselves at a restaurant or whatever the case is. I'm not saying it's okay, but that's what happens.
But I'm sure in restaurants, most of the revenue does come from alcohol sales.
Yeah, you eat once, you drink the whole night.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's pretty obvious for them. They have to keep that open just to keep the business floating.
Yeah, but obviously there was a whole lot of commotion, especially with the MEC who was caught on video this past weekend going off at people. The minister was also out there, and I think it was obviously if you were at that venue and you were possibly implicated and possibly even arrested, maybe you've learned your lesson. But it's also difficult because it's like, do you not go out? Do you not at least have that one drink and try to be responsible to go home on time?
How do you guys feel? I mean, you have been playing and DJing. Vijay, have you been DJing?
Yeah,
you have, right?
Yeah, I have.
How do you guys feel when you go out to these venues? Is it even, how do you feel? Because you have to go in masked up, sanitized. Usually you'd stick around, have some fun. Is it an in and out thing? Is it uncomfortable for you guys? How do you guys feel?
In the beginning, I was scared, I won't lie. Like, the first time I went out, I was just like, yo, I know good toilet. I had my mask on, I didn't want to touch anyone. Everybody was just carefree. But I think you also get to a point where everybody's just so like relaxed. You also just feel like the idiot with the mask on. So I think it's more social pressure that kind of comes in at the most. But what I do try to do when I'm about to set up is I carry a spray with me so that I can at least spray down just the equipment to make sure that I'm okay before I actually
what's
play.
Michelle equipment, please?
You want to say it's how? Come on, this. Oh, so currently equipment, not the COVID.
Because there's this talk. I know we're going to wrap it up, but all these fears and all these regulations are being put because there is this looming fear of the second wave.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's happening to most countries. And funny you mentioned, Noni, how you feel uncomfortable. I still do feel uncomfortable, you know, because...
Vich, if you not talking mask, like we POPcast.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But
I wore a mask and they said, hey, Vich, you're such a throwback, yo. because everyone didn't have masks. But I visited mask. Throwback.
And
then it's not even that. It's just like, guys, Mina, I'm trying to be responsible.
Yes.
Either way, if maybe the minister did find me there, me wearing my mask, they'll probably maybe more lenient to say, at least you may slide out. You know, one of those things. So I did get stopped by the cops on one of my gigs driving home, which was late. I think my set ended late, about 12:15. You know, didn't get married into trouble. I just told them I'm from work. I'm driving home.
Yeah.
You know, which was understandable. They were understanding, like, okay, cool. As long as you go home, did you drink? Test, nothing. Like, okay, sharp, go home.
Yeah, I think that's what they like to see, is that you're at least trying to stick to the curfew, even if you're just at a few minutes over, as long as you're going home, not going to the next groove. Don't go to the next groove after midnight, please. I just wanted to give a shout out to Daruma by Oskido, which is out here at Waterfall in Johannesburg. Come and check it out. I think what's so awesome about this restaurant is that, you know, typically when black businesses open restaurants, it's always serving African delicacies and serving amangina, ustambo, and all that stuff. And Oskido was like, no, let's do what the
Let's go to the Far East.
Let's go Far East. Let's say Japanese food. Okay, and he's got like chefs who are also, you know, doing the craft, but black chefs who are making the sushi, which I think is really amazing. So shout outs to Oskido, and come through and support the brother. The restaurant is amazing, and the food is really great as well. I'm not just saying this. I've actually eaten here a couple of times. It's really great.
When you bring us to eat, Noni?
I mean,
just on a date, flatter.
When the checks say we can come.
When the pockets take off their masks.
When the coins communicate, you know what I mean?
So don't be asking us what's that in the background. You can hear the dishes because they're busy preparing the lunch menu right now. And there are some customers here. You'll see his customers. They're from the Far East now.
Yes, and they're also supporting black business, and that's what we are here to do as well.
Inspired, right?
We're constantly moving around and making sure we show a light on black business and what they are putting together, and obviously for you to support it as well. So shout out to Oskido for this.
Ministry of Public Affairs. Now let's go to the domestic ones.
Ooh, the domestic issues that were trending.
Were the issues? I only know one. I don't know about the other ones.
No, it's the only one.
Okay, but it had so many
issues that were going on where everyone was like, wow, this is tricky times. Okay, so we saw on social media, Katlego Maboe's video was trending.
Damn it.
And he was being recorded by his girlfriend, his wife. Are they married?
They're married.
Okay, I didn't know that they were married. All right, so his wife recorded him on camera, and his confession to him.
Okay, I think they have a kid together. I'm not sure if they're married.
All right, but nonetheless, they are together. That's what matters. They're life partners.
Yeah.
And he was confessing about his stepping out on the relationship. And obviously, she took it, well, I understand why she was frustrated, because firstly, you're cheating. Secondly, we have a child together. You're supposed to be faithful. But outside of that, he contracted something outside in his extracurricular activities and brought it back into the home by way of an STD, which already is now affecting her as a female. Her reproductive system is now being compromised, and it's definitely taking things to the next level. But obviously, South Africa got a hold of this video. It just blew up from a trending perspective. People then started tagging all of the jobs that he was working with, the Outsurances of the world, Expressos, all of his brand collaborations. So things are a little bit tricky there for Katlego. So he's been taken off of Expresso for now. He's been suspended. Outsurance had to pull all of their adverts. And you know what, cheating aside, my biggest issue is affecting the woman at home. And I think that's the one thing people don't realize is the bigger issue at hand here. All jokes aside, I mean, we've all had a bit of our laughs, but it's really painful as a woman to be told that you've now contracted something you didn't choose to collect. And now it's going to affect your possibility of bearing a child again.
I'm just night and the spoon, man.
So people, please.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh.
Look, you can laugh at the jokes that were trending, but the situation's
South
not
Africa
serious.
will always laugh at something because that's the way we know how to deal with our trauma. We laugh at everything, but we know how serious the underlying issues are. Mina, as I usually do, I go check out World Star Hip Hop because I love seeing. When you watch World Star, you realize how the world is actually deteriorating, and you call it America deterioration. So you call up the States Indo ezawufika yenzeke apha eAfrika okanye apha eMzantsi Afrika. So I'm checking out World Star Hip Hop and I see his face on it. Immediately, I thought, Katlego, Maboe, finally got his spaceship and is going to go work overseas. Because he's that talented and he's that equipped and he's that clean of a character. I didn't even read the caption. I'm just getting every twin. Because one, I'm a man, I've cheated numerous times before. And with the women that it mattered with, I've always realized that, fuck man, really. Secondly, most of the times when that has happened, it's always been liquor involved. Utwala really, really fucks up your decision-making ability. Thirdly, I then was like, but why is she shooting this if he's gonna lose jobs and then he won't be able to take care of the kid? But then I realized, damn, she contracted a sexually transmitted disease. At that time, she's not thinking rationally. She wants to hurt him and reduce him to the way that she feels. And I'm good for that. Like, get your revenge if that's the way you feel. I'm not gonna stand there and be like, that was stupid. If it's gonna make her feel better, shout outs to that. And also, I think it was great for the video to be shown because a lot of men can ask themselves the question of, yo, is this shit worth it? Really? Is this pussy worth it, bro? Like, it's something that as niggas, we really have to understand and question ourselves on right now. Nadia also had a conversation when she was talking to Slicker where she was like, there's so many powerful women in South Africa that are doing their thing, but you realize that when they have men, it doesn't last, or they can't find any men. And there's a problem in SA because Amajita do not want to elevate to the level of leading their women and their families. It's a big problem. And we tend to think that because we get money, because we are successful, then it's fine. People think being a success in the bank's terms also equates being a success in life. And we are really seeing a lot of that. It's not the truth. Don't think because you've achieved your dream. It's also happened in rap. A lot of rap niggas thought because they did well, monetary-wise, they stopped growing as people. So as men in the country, we got a really, really big role to play and really have to assess our situation because as Zenzayo are going to be followed. I mean, he has a son. He doesn't want his son to behave like him. But of course, children don't hear what you say, they watch what you do. So we really have to be self-aware and self-analyze. And those who can feel the tide needing to shift, be the change you want to see. I'm not perfect. I have made numerous mistakes when it comes to women and pussy. Believe me. But I can...
Do you have to add the two together?
Women and pussy?
Yes. Because for me, I find it very derogatory to put them so close to each other because then it becomes a respect factor. And I think, again, it also filters through from a hip-hop perspective. Like you mentioned, everything filters down to how we perceive people because we're belittling them to just pussy. When it's like, but do you respect this person? Is this somebody that you care about? Is this somebody that you want to go the next level with? Why am I being belittled to this one word that's going to bring me down and strip me away from everything I've achieved?
I think when I say pussy, I mean in the way, and you're definitely right, you know, I'm not putting them together to belittle anybody, but I'm trying to be as real as how men think about things.
I understand, but I'm saying we need to learn as a society to separate those two words. We actually need to even abolish the word, for me, in my opinion, because...
So can I say vagina?
If you want to.
Because Cosmo, man, I understand and I fully agree with what you're saying. When a man thinks about things, he doesn't think about him like a woman. When you think about it in the way that women do. Out is goal-orientated. So Umjita, when he thinks about his wife, he's thinking woman, which is why I use that term. When he's going out drinking with his friends on his birthday and he sees a skirt, he's thinking, my woman is woman. That is pussy I want to get. And I'm not, now you don't have to, I'm giving you the real of how men think.
What is Maboe's title for the song?
Where's pussy?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so now that's...
It's hip-hop, anything else.
So now that's another thing. As much as you're telling us this, there's women now, and Lil Kim was here back in the day, and Foxy Brown was here back in the day, who did speak like this. Now, I understand where you're coming from, Yabo, but I'm just giving you the real of how niggas think.
I understand.
You know? And then another thing, it's the same way where niggas think of their wives and sisters as women. And they can say, that's a woman to me, and my mother's a woman. But then they'll rap a song and go, bitch this, bitch that, bitch this. And you're right, we should not separate the two. But at the same time, I'm not going to put every woman in the same basket because y'all don't act the same either. Just like men. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I want to implore is that as far as amajita go, when it comes to getting this money, and it's worse in entertainment when it's these events, because they said they were at an event, they went to a hotel, they did their thing. Itrap, the success, nemali, nefame, namandombazana. These are the results.
So Scoop, for me, I always say this is where the devils play, right? Why lose what you've built for 5 years in 5 minutes?
That's always
right?
That's always the question every single woman on the planet will always ask, but why?
You know what I mean? So for me, it's one of those things. If you are married, you've got vows, right? If you are seeing someone, you need to be honest with that person, right? If I was seeing Noni and I wanted to get outside, I'll have to tell Noni right then and there, say, yo, listen, I need to see other people outside. Maybe it's because of 1, 2, 3. We are a couple, we need to talk about such things, you know what I mean? So I think it is necessarily, I do say that, yes, men are supposed to respect women, but for me, that clip showed the power of social media, that, you know what, you could lose whatever you've built in a short period of time.
Because all of his checks are out the door now.
Yeah. And,
all of them.
And also, what we forget, this is a blueprint that it's going to be there forever. And as it's a son, right, that is God, right?
Son.
So as a man, me, as a man raising boys, this is not something I want my children to go through to say, this is life, this is what happens, you know? For me, I need to make sure that my son see what, okay, you know, you need to treat a woman with respect, you know? And
imagine
men
your son
and
growing up
women,
and seeing
you know what I mean?
And his son's gonna grow up and he's gonna go to school and they'll be like, oh, your dad's the outsurance guy. Or your dad's the guy that was trending on social media.
And
your
men and
dad is
women
the
are
guy
equal.
who did 1, 2, 3.
You know, you need to make sure that our children know that man and women are equal. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. So how do we run about these things? It's more of an educational piece. And you know what happened, but I think that he probably just needs to go fix his things up with his lady, you know, and just set it up. And yes, what he did with bringing STD into a family, that's really tough, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things, like, she's probably trying to fall pregnant and now she can't anymore. Which has affected her, which is Musatani, as I was saying. You know what I mean? And shame.
And that's the one thing women are always afraid of. You know, the one thing about infidelity, it's one of those things where some women choose to forgive it. And when they choose to forgive it, they're like, okay, I'll forgive it because we're still okay here at home. The moment you bring something home, that's what we're afraid of. That's what we're scared of. Because Tina says, this guy is and we're chilling slowly. When I'm busy, you're living your best life. And now I'm the one who has to deal with that, not you.
Yeah, but also it's one of those cultural things where I think, especially within our homes, whereas I've seen it happen in families where, like, you're still at home. This woman's not coming to your home, you know? I think as men, we've gotten away with so much of that the whole time, especially with the older generations, whereas, but you know what? You are still at home. I can go play outside. At the end of the day, this thing is going to teach us respect home by all means.
Please.
And also at the same time, and I know how very spiritual you are as well, you know, don't bring amadimoni into your house, because now you don't know what you are getting yourself into.
It's going to affect your life for a long time.
Another thing is, like, I feel like she also, because he was trying to argue, but she quickly gained her power back and said, no, I'm the victim here.
Yes.
You know, you can't be trying to level with me. I'm the victim. You must take whatever I'm giving you. And secondly, I think it's a blueprint that she has set for a lot of women. I think it's the first time we've seen it, but it won't be the last.
Yeah. Tricky times. All right, moving on now. We had a lot of music drops happening this past week. It's been really exciting to actually hear how the hip hop is actually flowing out, you know, the rollout, because I don't know. I think I've got a bit of PTSD from 2019 where we were starved of the music. So now when it's coming out, I'm like, yes, give us more, give us more. Obviously, we heard the Super Mega dropped a song, Casino, featuring Shoma Josie and Flame, called Casino. Are you guys digging it? How are you feeling the vibe?
It's a song. It's a song. And I really love what Flame
on the chorus.
Yeah, I really love what Flame has done from it.
Shout out to Flame. He was shining on that song, definitely.
After 10 years in the game, you've learned so much that it's easy for you to make a song that can go. You've got so many tricks. You know, your technical abilities, yourself, you can make a song that can go. Can you make a song that can stand out? Is another question. So for me, you see, again, the way I said it and the way you laughed, they're going to take that clip now. And then they run with it. But for me, again, I'll be honest, it's a song, you know? Did I expect more? I did. Okay. I really did expect more. And my standout performance from the track was Flame.
Flame, definitely shining.
I love how they engineered Flame's voice.
Yeah.
I think the engineering, I think it's Robin who did the engineering, if I'm correct. You know? But what I love about Keenan, it's South A.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think he hasn't changed as Keenan. And for me, I can't expect Keenan from way back to still deliver the same Keenan. He's probably evolving with time. You know what I mean? You can't make hits from back then, even make hits now. And I think for me, from listening to it, what I liked about it is that Keenan does not give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? And maybe it's also
Is that a good or a bad thing?
No. It also maybe plays into the whole Bovamania. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When you listen to it, it's like, it's so raw. Well, it's like raw. Bovamania for me sounds raw. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not trying to follow similar things, whatever. I like where he did, where he says, cool, he's doing the samples that probably resonate with our sound, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also the quotables that he has there, which are dope for me, and also him...
The one about très bien.
Oh. And the way he treats hate like oxygen. And also, it's one of those things, definitely, Shoma Josie exciting. I liked it. It was a collabo that was unexpected, which I appreciated. And I think it's going to grow in time with people. For me, I like the song.
Are you guys expecting a lot out of Bovamania, the project, now that we've heard 4 songs from the project?
I personally, I won't lie, I'm expecting a lot out of everybody, and sometimes I had to reconcile that with myself. Am I expecting too much out of niggas? I really feel like there is a level that's waiting for us, and we haven't gone to.
And you know what? The fans are also expecting that next level to also come through, because I played the song on my radio show this past Sunday and I got a voice note because I obviously asked for comments and feedback and what the listeners are actually thinking about the tune.
Yeah, because sometimes naughty.
Yeah, because I also don't want to sit in my bubble and have my own thoughts. And I say, okay, well, what are the fans saying? Because they're the ones who have to consume the music. And this is a voice note that I got from one of the listeners.
Hey, Miss Cosmo. This AKA and Shoma Josie song is a good vibe, but I feel like what Scoop said on the POPcast a short while ago is pretty much evident here, man. I think the OGs need to give it a break, because all they're giving us is just recycled music. They're just recycling hits that they didn't even originally make. Now they're recycling and mashing it in. I understand, man, when you make music, a great part is being able to benchmark music. But then do that, benchmark music. Don't copy and paste it. This whole song sounds like they just DJ'd. It sounds like a DJ mix, you know? Shoma Josie comes through nicely. AKA also comes through nicely, but he just... Yeah, man, dude, you've been referencing too much of new hits and old hits to try and make a song, dude. Like, maybe the OGs need to give it a break for a little bit. Go find themselves, find the reason why they did this stuff, got into this thing.
Why are you giggling, Vijay?
I'm not giggling. For me, it's one of those things. Recycling songs that were made before. Hip hop has always been about samples, regardless. You know what I mean? I think the first hip hop songs that were ever made were based on samples.
Yeah.
You know, and people continue to make samples to this day until forever. It's going to happen regardless, right? And also, when he says it's such a vibe, but he feels like it just lets him down. Maybe I'm getting confused that he likes it, it's a vibe, but it lets him down.
It's the same thing that I was saying.
But that's what I'm saying. The reason why I played it was because I think he's expecting mind-blowing, okay, take me to the next level of Movamania.
Oh, okay.
And I think he feels as though we haven't gotten to the next level of where the artists are supposed to be.
Okay.
And I think maybe that's the disappointment, is that we're putting too much pressure and expecting too much.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that don't expect the Kenyan of 10 years ago to still be the Kenyan now. You know what I mean? Things change, things evolve. And, you know, he's older. I'm sure that maybe even the raps, you know, he is probably not rapping about being in the club, jumping on tables, doing whatever. Maybe now he's rapping about Cairo and what he's going through, and maybe with the girl that he has. You know what I mean? Things change in life. So for me, it just do always leave room for yourself to say, cool, where is this person with life right now, and where they're heading to? You know what I mean?
It's not nice sometimes to sit and talk about an artist and what they should do and how you feel about what they do. But it is also the seat that we have in these jobs that we take on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to say, like I said, like, after 10 years, you've picked up some skills, you know your strengths, you know where to go, and you know what hits, and you can make a song. And like I also said, like, it's a good song. I can play it on radio, I can chunk it into a mix in a club. It's a good song. I feel the same way like this guy feels like, and that's maybe just me. I want another plateau. I do.
You want the next level.
I want the next level, I do. And another thing is, I think that cats do have an extra level in them. It's not that I think they don't have it, it's gonna come from somewhere else. But I also know that if niggas aren't pushed, if niggas aren't challenged, they won't go there.
Yeah.
Now, they could respond nicely to the challenge, or they could say, fuck me, it's okay. But in wezothetha ngumculo, and kwakhona mna ndiyazibeka ndithi, maybe I want too much.
Yeah.
You know, I will agree with that. I definitely will agree with that. But I definitely am longing for something that is gonna tear the roof off where we are right now. And I think that cats do have it. I don't know what's stopping them from doing it, but I do know they have it in their system. And I also feel like because of the amount of experience and time, guys have become technical and very too thoughtful about it. Whereas when you're a bit younger, it's a feeling and not much more of a thought.
Okay.
Niggas are thinking too much in the music.
Yeah.
They like this sample, this feature, this is how we're gonna. It's too much thought and it's not felt organic. Yeah. This is me.
I've always felt that organic songs have always done better, as opposed to the ones where you strategically put it together and say, if I place this, I place this, I place this, it's gonna work. And then when it doesn't work, then it's like, oh, but it was supposed to work. It's the formula. And it's following the formula too much that makes you think about it too much, as opposed to just vibing in studio, doing what you gotta do, having fun with it, you know, have a drink with everybody, feel the vibe, and then make the music.
Sorry, Vijay, you can go on, my brother. I spoke.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yes, I am for that, and no, I'm part of that, right? My thing is, when you make music when you're younger, yes, you were doing it for your audience, you know what I mean? And you grow with your audience, you know what I mean? So, but for me, it's the content that I listen to where he's at. I feel like I'm growing with Kenya.
I'm not talking, the thing is, you're talking about content.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the content. I've not mentioned a problem with content.
Okay, cool.
I'm mentioning a problem with the groove of the music.
Okay, cool.
Do you understand?
Okay.
I haven't said nothing about what he's saying,
Yeah.
but the way the things are sounding, and it's not just him. Casper's album sounds like very thought out, very strategic, very technical, not felt. But because someone has had so much time here, someone has studied their audience, they know. It's like basketball. Jordan knew if I go 1-2, this is my go-to move. James Harden knows if I go 1-2, it's a go-to move. When I'm having a bad game, I'll hit a 3 with this one. But I won't win a championship, but I'll hit the 3. You understand? So I say content in like you groove. And back to Unoni, what she was saying. Guys, another big problem, what's happening, this is my opinion, my observation, I could be wrong, is that not a lot of people, I'm surprised at how people feature each other, because back in the day, when you heard stories about features, especially before the internet era, and in between the internet era as well, people chilled with one another. Like you say, have a couple of masifumane groove yethu. Ngoku, people are not chilling with one another. They sing on social media, Ubani, he's running nicely there. Let me feature him on this song. And you can hear the disjointedness in the music. Goba abantu are using each other to get up. They're not chilling together. And the people that are being featured also, let me not say that people are being featured, but there is no camaraderie in studio. There is no feeling each other out. So as Yazini, let me take an element from the conversation, it on me. And then Flame can go, fuck, I'm chilling with Mega now. Let me take an element. There's no symbiotic thingy happening.
So you think the energies are not...
They're not joined up. And also you can sometimes, it's not even just with this song, maybe even with other songs as well. Sometimes you can hear when a song has just been emailed. And to say, here, just put on your verse, and it's like, how, okay, were you feeling it? Were we together? Were we in the right vibe? Are we sending the right message? Are we sending the same message? That's also kind of coming through,
It could be that thing, you're correct, of send a song, do this, or here's a line, let me sample it, 1, 2, 3, just put on a song together, right? But also, so for me, now going back to like the first 3 joints that dropped, I didn't like them. You know what I mean? And now I think energy is the one that's growing more to me. Right now,
I told you about energy. I told you about
energy. It's growing more to me.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
And now what I'm getting from this body of work is how raw it is, where I don't think it's maybe a thing of this is how it's going to be. It's just raw. It's like a playlist of some sort where I take this, put it together, let's crash it up, let's make good music and put it out. That's what I'm getting from it. That it's the raw element. It's not that thing where, yes, it is planned out. But no, it's like, let me just take, put it out, let's see what happens.
Showcase. Yeah. When is Boba Mania coming out?
I think he did post a tweet on the 20th, is it the 6th of November or the 20th of 6th of November? Yeah.
6th of November.
6th of November.
I'm sorry, Cosmo, go ahead.
No. Well, you can finish off because I was going to move on.
I was going to say that I do want to hear the full album. I know that there will be 1 or 2 things.
But you've got it, right?
You've got the scoop pack.
Yeah, but I want to listen to it before everybody listens to it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So then why do you have the scoop pack? You two men again. We'll listen to it now.
So
I almost got it.
I'm also, to be honest, I'm also scared.
Okay.
I'm also a bit shook.
There's the truth.
I'm also a bit shook. Okay. I'm also a bit scared. And I can be honest about that, and I want to be honest about that. I'm a bit shook, but because of how I guess and the thing is this, bruh. I only demand this from niggas because I demand this of myself in my field of work. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I want this. And I feel personally that is my role to just chuck in.
Add the pressure.
And add the pressure and pull whoever's gonna bring the diamonds out. But I'm not gonna sit here with my love for you guys and my admiration for what you guys have done. Let that be clear. We admire and honor you. But I'm not gonna sit here and go, yeah, that's the one. I can't lie to myself. And I don't want to lie to my people.
With that, just the one last chat we needed to have was obviously what's happening in our continent. Scoop, I see you out here wearing the Nigeria jersey. because we got to make sure we're supporting our countrymen, you know. And I think this is the one thing, and it's so sad that it has to happen with violence. It's so sad that it has to happen with agony, that the continent is coming together, because there's many other opportunities for us to come together, but we seemingly don't. But there is a lot of turmoil that's happening in the rest of the continent. Obviously, Nigeria, which is the biggest issue at the moment with the SARS. And the hashtag #EndSARS with the Nigerian law enforcement, if I'm not mistaken, and the shootout that happened at Loki Bridge. Is it Lekki or Loki? Lekki Gate Bridge, where they were shooting at protesters who were innocently protesting to try and disband this unit, but they obviously then shot back at them, which shouldn't be happening. So we need to obviously then be at a position where we're supporting the rest of the continent. Obviously, even with Congo's also going through their uproar. Namibia's also going through their uproar. South Africa, we're dealing with hijacking, human trafficking, GBV. There's so much happening in the rest of the continent, and I really feel like...
I didn't know there was that much happening.
There's a lot going on. There's Congo's going through turmoil, Namibia's going through turmoil, it's Nigeria's going through the EndSARS movement, South Africa with the GBV. I know Angola's also got a hashtag as well. So there's just a lot that's happening.
But this thing goes to show like how our leaders look at us. You know what I mean? And how our leaders lie to us.
For
you know what I mean? And how our leaders see us. You know, and I think for me, any life, doesn't matter what race you are, it's still a life. It's a valuable, you know what I mean? It's a human being life, you know? And most of all, I think we need to be together with Nigeria right now. And yes, everyone go out there, make noise about it. We have to definitely, without a doubt. We have no excuse. And also, it's up to our leaders as well to also lead us and show us the way.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So we do expect our leaders throughout the whole continent to be like, Nigeria, what you guys are doing is wrong.
Exactly, and I think that's why there's huge protest. There was a protest actually in Cape Town, protesting against EndSARS with the Nigerians who were living in Cape Town, who were actually saying, no, please, can our leaders support us? And I think even more so, they were pleading to Cyril Ramaphosa because he is the head of the AU. So holding that position gives him more power to do something. And I think that's why there's so much noise coming from us, because we're saying, but you are a president, we're appealing to you.
You're in charge of this continent with the AU.
Basically. So do something, like intervene, try and help the rest of the continent, because Africa's bleeding.
I just had to wear the soccer jersey because I didn't know what else to do. But I know that if I was a person from Nigeria sitting in SA who was a friend of the POPcast, or I'm in Nigeria watching the POPcast, it's just those little things to let you guys know, like, we know we've done so much fucked up things in this country with xenophobia and all of that, but like, we here riding with you. To anybody from Nigeria living in SA or someone in Nigeria watching the podcast, like, this is a small token of showing you that you're in our thoughts, and I hope everything works out there. And I went to go read up on SARS because I didn't know what it was, you know? And it's, I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was South Africa, but then obviously it says Nigeria. Special anti-robbery squad was hired to stop robberies of cars, cattle, human trafficking, and the things that they were hired for were the things they ended up committing, and the public had an outcry about it, and this is where we are now. But apparently it was disbanded on the 1st of October 2020.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm talking shit. October's still coming. No.
We're in October.
We're in October. Sorry, son. Hey,
Scooby, we're not locked down for too long.
Too long, don't. So they said that it was disbanded in October 2020, but then they started another movement called SWAT. So the people are like, no. We don't want the movements. Because the movements are using government badges and armory to commit the crimes.
Yeah.
Terrorists, right?
It's terrorists.
It is terrorists. And I think a lot of the countries are kind of dealing with the same thing. I mean, even Zimbabwe with the Zimbabweans' Lives Matter. Libya is also going through their own turmoil as well. So, and the common denominator seems to be that government is not doing anything to save the people.
That's why
That's the common denominator with all of the hashtags that have been trending, is that, but where are our leaders? Where are the people who are supposed to save us?
You know, there comes a point where we have to go against the system.
Yeah.
You know, and I think regardless of whatever, what we're going to have to try to do in the next votes, in the next elections, I think now you as a human being, you know how powerful you are. Those people better come back down begging for our votes.
I think we've given them too much leeway. But nonetheless, I mean, at the end of the day,
Sorry.
You're too fly, Cosmo.
wow. But nonetheless, I think we're also pretty much at the end of our leeway here on the POPcast. And yeah, man, we'll be back again next week, Tuesday.
No doubt.
Please remember to subscribe, turn on your notifications, comment, like, let us know what you think, let us know how you feel, let us know if you want us to do anything, change anything, say anything, scream it out loud. And of course, also send your comments to Brother Vigi.
Yeah, bro.
I'm DJ Vigilante, and shout out for you guys always staying through with the amacomments. You know, by all means, you know, slowly but surely, we will be commenting, we will be reverting back to what everyone's been saying. But you know, I really love the video elements because now it kind of gets you guys, as the podcasters, to feature actually on the show. So check out this video for more time.
So what I want to find out is it good for like a designer or someone in the art space to transition into music, and in a sense where even with the music now it comes off very, from song to song, it comes off very, this song is different from the next song you're dropping, and that song is also is different from the next song you're dropping. Does it hurt your market or does it extend it in that sense?
Yo, Tando, what up, man? I think more than anything, man, with art is art, you know? Express yourself. So if there is a need that you feel like music is something that I want to tap into, yes, do express yourself musically. But however, don't think that making music is cool, I want to get into this because I'm very artistic, etc. I think that follow what you love and don't do it for the money, just follow your passion, you know what I mean? If there is a piece that you want to express through musically, I think it's actually quite dope that you can have the artwork and say, yo, this is the piece that I express. So it's probably a new avenue now to actually bring you a new audience to say, oh shit, I didn't know that this piece actually resembles black and black means this in the universe, you know, to the way you describe it. So I think really do it, man. Don't do it for the money. I think do it for a point to showcase your work. Peace.
What up, Popcasters? I'm Ms. Cosmo here on the POPcast. And of course, this is your social tonton, your weekly update on what's hot and happening, what's trending on the social media. First and foremost, I do have to give a shout out to our brand new Miss South Africa, Shurufat. So hailing all the way from Vandertown. I'm sure Dizzy's happy about this one because he's got a representative. So shout out, she is beautiful, she's bold, she's gorgeous, and she is definitely a representation of what South Africa is. So we just want to give a shout out to her. And of course, good luck on your reign, and hopefully you can bring back that crown because, hey, uzoz usifakeli pressure manje. Also moving on with Idols, there was a new announcement that came through that Kalawa Jasmine is going to be taking on the artist that wins every single Idols competition. So the winner will then be represented by Kalawa Jasmine. And I think it's just true testament to the fact that we're shooting out here at the Ruma by Oskido. So shout outs to Oskido and the team for constantly taking the level up just a little bit higher. With that though, we got to bring it back to where we are with the nice times of the weekend. It was Champagne Day this past weekend. And with celebrations of Champagne Day, of course, there was a specific video that was going viral of DJ Maporisa sipping champopo. I'm just going to drink this thing, living his lavish life on a boat. And as he took a sip, maramfanas, champopo ay munati. And the thing that killed me the most was how Kabza was actually defending champopo. Both sincerely taste buds mfana ka wena. But of course, we still want to celebrate Champagne Day, so shout outs to all the champagnes who are out there, especially because our women are getting involved in the champagne trade as well. The likes of DJ Zinclair with Boulevard Rose, as well as Bonang with House of BNG. And of course, the one that obviously caught my attention, trending this past week as well, was South African Fashion Week, which happened over the weekend. But there was one specific show that kind of caught everybody's attention, and that goes by Ifemal and his brand that actually showcased this past weekend. And it just seemed a little too close for comfort to what he kind of looks like a little bit of Maxhosa Baila Duma. So apparently people are just not too okay with how it looks too similar to Maxhosa's brand. So we're not too sure what's actually going on that one. Even the socials were even calling him Sally Spectra. You guys are old if you know exactly what Sally Spectra was doing back in the day. But of course, when we're talking about clothes, I do have to then throw it over to Scoop with the thread count.
Thread Count episode 4, and the brand that we are talking about, Kule Veki, is called Cuff Boys Club. Lama Auti, I saw their work on a shoot that Young Stilo and Uncle Vinny and a couple of their friends, including the designers of the brand, took part in, and I really liked it. They started off with these small inyana items, you know? This is like a do-rag for people who have cornrows, for people who have amaflecha, they want to keep them down. You know what I'm saying? This is like that stocking cap that you would wear. And I loved the fact that it started off with something very small, something very affordable, but they branded it nicely so they could stand out and offered a product into the market that wasn't available at all. You'd have to make this with a stocking by yourself. So I loved the way they entered the game here. A lot of people always cry about money and not having the means to be able to do this and this and that. Sometimes you just have to think outside the box and present something that is affordable but can also stand out as a product to give yourself and your brand notoriety. So they started off with these and just this plain t-shirt written Cuff Boys Club so people could actually get to know the brand and see it. And then after that, they elevated a bit. Again, the tie-dye bleaching vibe is really a very affordable way of making something that is aesthetically pleasing. And obviously tie-dye was something that was of a global phenomenon at the time. It is also nice because it's a DIY thing. You can do it yourself. Plus, there could be a lot of people who use tie-dye, but everybody's tie-dye could be different. So again, it gives your brand that exclusivity or standout factor. So they moved on to do these hoodies after introducing themselves with the t-shirt and the stocking cap. Really simple, once again, but it's striking and it stands out. This is the hoodie. One of my favorite items that I love wearing from my wardrobe, time and time again. I love the colorway. I love the way they dyed it. It's not your usual kind of tie-dye. They really did something different with it. So I love that. That's the orange one. This is the yellow one. You know? Very simple, but very effective, once again. They did these hoodies also in a sky blue colorway. And boop, there it is on the screen, just to show you everything. And then last but not least, they came up with see how they're always elevating themselves. So after doing the t-shirts and the skull cap, then they went to the hoodies, tie-dye hoodies, and they released this in winter, so you can tell with the hoodies and this material, corduroy. It's a very warm winter material. They then made a two-piece suit, which I am in love with, and I haven't worn because I just haven't worn it. But this hat, very, very dope structure of how to make a bucket hat. Corduroy is a really stiff material, so it keeps the shape even when you're packing it with other clothes and have to travel somewhere. These are the pants for the two-piece suit. I love these pants because they come with, in Xhosa we call it izembe. I don't know what they call it in English, actually. But it's basically that crease line that forms from you ironing the pants. Gives it a very distinguished, kind of elderly, kind of mature look. Again, corduroy was great for winter. I wore the pants alone, though, I'm not gonna lie. Awesome, awesome fit. They let your ankle, they are a bit cropped, so they let your ankles show a bit. So these are the pants. I love the fact that they also have a two-tone detail to the pants, the white and the brown. Love that. To close the two-piece off, here's the shandis. This is the jacket for the two-piece. So I love the fact that, yes, they are an urban streetwear brand, but they didn't think of themselves and limit themselves to that alone. They even escalated and elevated everything by doing these kind of pieces as a streetwear brand. A lot of tailoring involved in here. I gotta give it up for Luvoluetu and Riyadh for making some dope stuff. This is not the only two-piece they made. They also made a powder blue one. So yeah, I love how they go from street to elevated, tailored cut and sew. I love how they're always elevating the clothes and the designs. Cuffed Boys Club. Check them out on the gram. Here's the Insta address.